Massive flames erupt into the night sky. A blinding flash, followed by a colossal fireball. SpaceX's Starship Ship 36 just exploded during a routine static fire test and it wasn't even supposed to launch. The incident occurred at SpaceX's Massey test site in Boca Chica, Texas on June 19, 2025. Just before midnight local time, Starship 36 was fully loaded with over 1,200 tons of liquid methane and oxygen. 6 powerful Raptor engines sat silently underneath, awaiting ignition. But before the countdown even reached 0, something went catastrophically wrong. Without warning, a violent burst tore through the vehicle, triggering an enormous explosion visible for miles. Within seconds, Starship 36 vanished in a cloud of smoke and molten debris. Shockwaves shook the ground. Security lights flickered, but remarkably no injuries. Every crew member was safely outside the exclusion zone. This wasn't a launch, it was a test. A full-scale fire drill for the most powerful rocket humanity has ever attempted to build. And in the process, Starship 36 destroyed itself, likely due to a pressurization failure or a fuel line rupture. SpaceX is still analyzing data from thousands of sensors to pinpoint the exact cause. To the public, this might seem like a disaster. Another exploded rocket. More billions lost. Another setback for Elon Musk's dream of building a city on Mars. But for SpaceX, this is part of the plan. It's called a rapid unscheduled disassembly. SpaceX engineers deliberately push every prototype to its absolute limit. They expect failures. They want failures. Each explosion feeds terabytes of precious data into an AI-driven simulation ecosystem that constantly updates the next version of Starship. Ship 36 was likely being tested for the 10th integrated flight originally targeted for June 29th. That timeline now appears uncertain. The damage to the testing infrastructure alone could push future tests back weeks or even months. But this is exactly how SpaceX operates: move fast, break rockets, learn, rebuild, repeat. In fact, this marks the 11th major Starship failure, and each one has brought the system closer to operational readiness. Flight after flight, crash after crash, Starship evolves. What's different this time is the scale of the explosion. Unlike a launch failure, this occurred on the ground, during a pre-burn test. The vehicle wasn't moving, and that raises questions about deeper structural issues, perhaps in the tank dome, the methane plumbing, or the engine chill-down sequence. The site, Massey's, is critical to SpaceX's Starship roadmap. Losing Ship 36 there could slow not only test flights, but also delay payload delivery missions planned for 2026 and beyond.
And yet, Elon Musk remains unfazed. He has said before, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Starship is a vehicle designed not just for Mars, but for orbital cargo, lunar landings, and possibly point-to-point Earth travel. It's a fully reusable system capable of carrying over 100 tons to orbit. But getting it right requires trial by fire. Literally, this explosion? It's just another chapter in a much larger story. A story of ambition that burns hotter than methane. A story of engineering written in explosions. A story that ends on another planet. The question isn't whether Starship will succeed. The question is, how many prototypes will fall before one finally flies flawlessly? So when the smoke clears over Boca Chica and the debris is swept away, one thing is certain: Starship will rise again. Because for SpaceX, failure isn't final, it's fuel. Like this story? Subscribe to Atomic Domain for more mind-blowing space science. Hit the bell, drop a comment, and share this video before the next rocket test lights up the sky.